Haas is under fire as their ex-race driver, Nikita Mazepin, is planning on suing them for a wrongful process of termination. We can't say we didn't see that coming. The start of this season in Formula 1 was wild. Teams had to continuously fix cars, rules were changed whenever they were convenient, and drivers were going in and out. Kevin Magnussen had to replace Nikita Mazepin, much to everyone's shock, and so many rookies were added to the sport. Nikita is mostly referred to as a pay driver, some would say. He's in the same situation as Lance Stroll. It's because they were picked by the team as their race drivers because of the financial package he can offer. Nikita's father, Dmitry Mazepin, is worth over $7 billion and founded chemical production company Eurochem. Nikita was let go from Haas when the team terminated his contract with both the driver and sponsor Uralkali, a Russian fertilizer company owned by Nikita's father. This is all because Dmitry Mazepin is a close associate of Russian President Vladimir Putin, and the Russian invasion of Ukraine was ongoing. The driver did not expect this at all. To him, it was a very painful and unexpected situation, and that he lost his dream to drive. We can only imagine how he felt. Sadly, the team did not even inform him about the termination. He was only informed about it through his lawyer. Yikes. He was so excited to race for the new season, and this got him by surprise. The former Formula 1 driver actually found light at the end of the tunnel for this one. He's creating a foundation to help athletes who are in the same situation he was in, excluded from competition as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. At least he's built something out of nothing. At first, we weren't sure who would be replacing Nikita in Haas. Pietro Fittipaldi took his seat for testing and practice in Bahrain, so we thought it would be him. But hours later, Haas confirmed that they had signed Kevin Magnussen to a multi-year deal to return to the team. Kevin was talented enough to stay in Formula 1, but his struggles to secure significant sponsorship in his native Denmark ultimately opened the door for a driver like Nikita. Haas was so proud of this change too. They didn't think of how Nikita felt, not one bit. They were so focused on getting a new driver that all of this was overshadowed. When looking for a driver who could bring value to the team, not to mention a wealth of Formula 1 experience, Kevin was a straightforward decision for us, said team principal Gunther Steiner. Kevin's immediate availability means we can tap into him as a resource for pre-season testing alongside both Mick Schumacher and Pietro Fittipaldi. Kevin was let go last season because of sponsorship issues, like we said, and Haas replaced him and Roman Grosjean with rookies Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin himself. The lineup changed, dropped Haas to a last place team. This new change gave them huge benefits though. Kevin Magnussen already spent 4 seasons driving for Haas in the past, so he's very well versed with the car. He already knows what to do, and it shows. In the first few races of the season, he actually placed in front of the grid, much to everyone's shock. This continued on during the first part of the season, and Haas went crazy celebrating their wins. Even though Nikita comes from a billionaire oligarchy, giving millions of dollars to sponsors Haas, the team didn't miss a beat in letting him go. It wasn't because of all this unfortunate driving skills which led him to fail and finish several races to be called Mazepin. It was about something he couldn't control. Of course, Formula 1 fans were shocked, and naturally, the driver himself was upset. He actually went on social media to rant about it. He announced that the foundation he created will allocate resources to those athletes who have spent their lives preparing for Olympics or Paralympics or other top events, only to find they were forbidden from competing and collectively punished just because of the passports they held. Now, Nikita Mazepin finds himself at the centre of yet more controversy. He's the talk of the town once more. He's about to sue his old team because of what they did to the Russian driver. Many think that Haas fired Nikita just because of his nationality. That's a total misconception. He was let go because he had no more sponsors and Haas couldn't fund him being part of the team anymore. They aren't a big team like Mercedes or Red Bull as we know it. At that point in time, Nikita was still free to continue competing in Formula 1, and he had already been competing under a neutral flag. He isn't directly responsible for what's been happening around him, so we can see why he's suing them. In a nutshell, he is definitely suing the Formula 1 team because of alleged unpaid wages. Former Haas driver Nikita Mazepin has said he is suing the Formula One team due to alleged unpaid wages. The fallout has reportedly seen Kelly's request for a sponsorship refund and compensation worth in excess of $21 million has been rejected by Haas. The team also claimed it was entitled to €8 million of compensation due to a loss of profits. Nikita Mazepin is now taking Haas to court over salary arrears. He personally spoke to Russian media outlet RBC Sport, and he made it clear that his legal action would be separate from Haas's ongoing wrangling with Kelly. He just had to point that out. When the contract was terminated, Haas had salary arrears to me for 2022, and Nikita said they still haven't paid it. He's described the legal case against Haas as his personal matter and stressed any trial would take specifically between him and the team. This makes perfect sense though. We shouldn't relate this to the whole firing fiasco. It's his right as a former employee to ask for his salary after all. I'm only talking about the fact that contractually obligations were not fulfilled, he pointed out. Aside from that, he mentioned that the Russian Grand Prix promoter Rosgongi was paid by Formula One for the cancellation of the race, meaning the series thereby set an example of etiquette. Haas could have followed. They were paid, so why wasn't he? That's a question he'll always look for an answer to. The Haas Formula One team doesn't seem to be giving this any attention though. They're still thriving weekend to weekend in every race. Gunther Steiner says that Haas will not rush new sponsorship deals for now. With Kevin Magnussen's great performance and Mick Schumacher's surprisingly finishing near points, we think they're all set. Haas is in a bit of a pickle nowadays, with their drivers failing to finish with points or failing to finish at all. Mick Schumacher has been told that he may be replaced next season if he keeps up with all the DNFs. Hopefully that this stops so Haas can get the show on the road once more.